I'm joined now with our Sunrise panelists for this week's edition of What's Trending. First of all, I want to say good morning to all of you.
Good morning,
Good
John.
morning.
Thank you all for joining us again. Week 3 of What's Trending. We're on a roll, right?
Yeah.
It's been fun.
It's been fun so far.
It has, yeah.
So far.
So far.
So we get to today's
We'll see how today goes.
We'll see how the debate is today, exactly. But first of all, we just want to introduce Natasha Herzig, who is a victims advocate.
Yes, thank you for having me again.
Thank you. Jay Walker, who is a former radio personality here in Yuma, very well known. And Martha Guzman, who works for the city of Yuma, who's also former KYMA anchor.
How beautiful do these ladies look today?
They look gorgeous, right? They're doing it
And you
up.
look great in color as well.
I know.
Great color,
Your red is standing out, Jay, so we really like it. So.
Wear Red Friday.
Red Friday, exactly. So we want to get to the topics, though, that we're going to talk about this week. First topic that we're talking about is some of the high school students in New York are getting more than just an education. They're actually getting the morning after pill at their schools, and it's all without parental consent. So this is what the schools are implementing over there, and it's called the CATCH program. Now, of course, my first question to you guys is, I mean, should parents know if their kids are getting this morning after pill? And do you believe this will help prevent any teen pregnancy in the future?
Who wants to get this one first?
Absolutely, the parents should know. If they're a child, if they're under the age of 18, if they're under the age of 18 and they're under their parents' care, absolutely 100% those parents should know about it.
So you're saying yes, 100%?
Absolutely.
All right.
And my understanding, John, is that the parents did receive a letter because this is a pilot program. So the parents did receive a letter and they were given the decision whether or not they wanted to opt their child out of the program. But you know, that being said, yes, I do believe that parents have the responsibility and the right to know what is being provided to their child in the schools.
Well, this is the thing. The parents do know what's being provided to their children at school. They can say, no, I don't want you to provide any type of birth control or plan B to them, or they can say yes. The thing is that not every parent has the relationship with their child that we would like. I, as a parent, hope that my daughter can come talk to me about these things. But that is one situation where there are many children who can't talk to their parents on many levels for many different reasons. And if that child can't talk to their parents, but they can go to a school, go to the nurse, talk to the doctor, and they can get whatever help they need, as opposed to no one helping them being uneducated and going, if it was here, going down to Mexico or finding a shady doctor or someone to do an abortion or anything like that. So it's about the well-being of the child and the children being educated on their choices, and whether the parents know or not, ultimately, you want that child to be safe. And if you can't go to your parent, you need to have somebody there that they can go to.
But this, I also think this doesn't promote safety because, yes, maybe they won't get pregnant, but that doesn't prevent them or protect them from sexually transmitted diseases.
Absolutely.
So then really, are we promoting, you know, safety among our children?
They do hand out condoms and birth control pills.
Which is a whole nother subject. The only true safety is abstinence.
Right, but the thing is as much as we believe that, it's what the children are going to be doing.
Right.
I mean, ultimately, I think that many of the teens these days are having sex, and it is something that needs to be talked about with the kids.
But is it the school's responsibility then to talk to the kids? I mean, I understand that not every child has a relationship with their parent, but the parent also needs to make that effort to have that communication with their child. That, you know, it's not the school's responsibility to be, you know, that person to talk to them about the birds and the bees.
But obviously, because children are getting pregnant, the parents aren't doing their job. Somebody needs to stand up and say, if you're not going to do it, then I will.
All right, well, obviously some debate this morning, so we're gonna be right back after this break. We have 2 more topics, and I'm sure it's gonna cause some more debate, so stay with us.
Your #1 source for news in the desert Southwest. This is News 11 Sunrise.
Welcome back, everyone. We're joined with our Sunrise panel for this week's edition of What's Trending, and we already talked about one controversial subject, but now we're moving on to some maybe a little bit more lighter. It's J.K. Rowling's new book. Of course, she is the very infamous author of the Harry Potter series, and she just wrote a new book called Casual Vacancy. It was just released, and it basically includes references to a local government official and includes references to drugs and sex. people are already flocking to the store to buy this, but she does have this young following from her Harry Potter series, and now she releases this very racy adult book. I mean, do you guys think that this is something that, you know, will attract the wrong audience?
Well, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
You know, it's just another book, as far as I'm concerned. She's an author, and of course her first sets of books were generated towards children, although many adults actually bought and read the books as well. I don't know, is there a thought that possibly you put some kind of disclaimer on the book, or you make a, you know, you've got to be so old or a certain age to buy the book? I don't know, but I don't.
I'm with Jay. It's just another book, in my opinion.
You know,
and I would hope that parents aren't going to be allowing their children to read the book, or those people that followed her books or grew up reading them perhaps are of age now where they can read that book. But
goes back to parenting again.
It goes back to parenting. If the parents don't buy the book for the child, and if they're at the bookstore and if it just says not a children's book, it's not in the children's book section.
Exactly.
It's in the adult or
just like the movies.
Yes,
you get
rated R.
carded at the movies.
Yeah, I mean, and we do have the 50 Shades of Grey, which is doing very well.
Yes.
I mean, that could have been her motivation for even writing a book like this. And then again, you have all the TV shows on TV and stuff who also have drugs, sex, violence. They have it all. So, I mean, really, if these kids read this book, do you think that it's going to make an impact on any of their lives? Because they're seeing all this stuff on TV already.
I don't know as much as an impact as it is just,
Or do
it's
you think
another
it's just
book
another
filled
book?
with, I mean, look at Twilight. It has, they're having sex, they're doing things.
Violence.
It's exactly, it's just the way it
Murder.
is. The only thing I can say about it being any hype about this book is that it shows that she can write a book. She can go from writing children's Harry Potter, this crazy trend that has now become about Harry Potter, to now I can write a book about sex, drugs, and everything else, about the rich and the poor.
So in your opinion, just real fast, success or no?
Success.
Oh yeah.
It'll be successful just because
Who she is.
She is, exactly.
All right. Well, let's move on to the next topic, which is the driverless cars, excuse me. In California, Governor Jerry Brown actually enacted legislation to have these cars from Google tested on the roadway. And of course, they do require someone to be in the car, but they do have sensors in them to kind of navigate themselves and avoid any, crashing into things and stuff. So they say. However, my question to you is, do you think this is a technology breakthrough, or do you think it is going to cause some hazards on the roadway?
Well, I think it's a breakthrough. We'll get there. I'm a little cautious to get behind the wheel of a driverless car at this moment because I think that they still have to work out, iron out all the details. And just like with any technology, there's always going to be glitches in new technology. We've seen it with the iPhones. Oh, this doesn't work. This doesn't work. They improve it the next time around. So I think it's a process. It is a breakthrough. I think we'll eventually get there. I'm kind of concerned about that, especially California. There's so much traffic, and what happens if the battery dies and you're in there's so many questions yet to be answered. But it's kind of exciting, but at the same time makes me nervous.
Exactly. They're definitely, a breakthrough technology-wise, but I'm not sure how comfortable I am putting my life in a computer's hands. That's a panic attack waiting for me to happen, to not have that control in the car. I mean, I feel that way when someone else is driving the car, let alone now it's a computer, and I'm hoping today's not the day it crashes. Literally,
It's not just you being in the car, it's the other person who's not in that car who's driving, coming at you, and that car coming towards you, and maybe it's not just about you being in the car, it's the other car that maybe is not a car, and something glitch goes wrong with it. Yes, it is a breakthrough. But
do you think we'll see more in the future on the roadway? Are we all going to be doing this eventually?
Technology is going to be the death of us. That's my opinion.
Absolutely. What's next? The Jetsons type of traveling?
That's what I thought when I heard about this. The one thing I have to say, though, if the technology gets to a point where it's perfected and we are all trusting, we're all buying into this, it's going to be great for people with disabilities, people that that are blind, and they perhaps they can have that. Maybe senior citizens, elderly who can no longer drive, can still have their independence by having a vehicle that can take them to the store and that sort of thing. So as we get there, and I'm not sure how far away that is, I think it'll be a good thing.
Well, there definitely needs to be more studies done before we just allow this to happen, because like a person is blind, what happens if they need to take over?
And once again, I think it's going to be up to the driver, because they said the driver will be in the car in case something does happen to hit the brakes or something, but who's to say the driver's not going to be sleeping, the driver's not going to be on their cell phone, the driver's not going to be putting on makeup,
the
driver's not going to be watching a movie,
or the driver's blind,
or drunk, passed out. I mean, so really, I think it does all come back to having a driver. So we'll see how far this goes. I mean, we honestly don't know how far it's going to go, but it's an interesting concept. We all have to admit that. So.
Oh, you can practice. You let us know how it goes.
You won't catch me in one of those.
Exactly. See,
crash test dummies.
Yeah, I'll avoid it for a while till it's been FDA or something approved. Not FDA. I'm just kidding. TSA.
Until it's what's training panel approved.
A training panel approved. So is it? Yes or no?
No.
Absolutely not.
No, we've got a ways to go, but I'm excited that they're working on this technology.
We're open-minded to it.
All right, so they agree once again. Okay, well, we'll be back next week with more exciting topics on what's trending, but for now, we're going to go ahead and send it to break. Bye.